Oh, Robert, that way lies indigestion.
Well, that one lies madness. Do you feel that pile of work I got waiting for me at headquarters?
I hope that means we'll be able to see each other later on.
That's what it means, darling.
I need at least an hour with you later on to talk about the car, okay?
You mean the one you showed me?
Yes, it's a steal. The dealer's going to give us a great price on it.
I'm not surprised. It's a British car.
What's wrong with a British car?
What isn't wrong with the British car? The thing will die 1,000 deaths, it'll live in our garage, and I'll spend the rest of my life supporting it.
Thousands of Englishmen would disagree with you, including my family. I was raised on those cars.
Yeah, well, that's because your family know how to communicate with them. They go...
Well, I don't know where to buy an Australian car. And please, stop with the insults for my family.
Consider the subject of your family closed.
Good. Robert,
yes.
Actually, there is one more thing that...
Who in the hell are you?
Now give me a big kiss and tell me all about your trip.
Oh, it was wonderful, wonderful. Just let me close the door for starters. There we are.
Just imagine. My cousin Algernon showing up on our doorstep.
Well, that's not hard to imagine. Your cousin Alistair paid us a visit just recently. How are you, Algernon?
Wonderful, wonderful.
Good, good. Then I hope that means that your visit isn't going to follow the imminent arrival of the police.
Robert, what a dreadful thing to say. Algernon is not Alistair. Algernon is Alistair's brother. It's my husband, Robert Scorpio.
Your brother's visit was cut short, I'm afraid.
Well, from what Alistair told me, you were a very kind host. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Oh, don't be too sure of that. I did, after all, throw Alistair out.
Is that a fact? Oh, he didn't let on about it.
I'll fill you in on it later. Now tell me all about you.
Am I keeping you from something, Robert? You seem to be on your way out before.
Well, I was, but under the circumstances... What's going on with you, Algernon?
Plenty of time to catch you lovely people up.
Not necessarily. Why don't you let me be the judge of that for myself?
Robert.
I'm sorry for not beating around the bush, but if your visit's going to be anything like the one that Alistair paid us, then I'd sooner you left now, Algernon. I mean, while our relationships are cordial.
Well, if this is your definition of cordial...
It's very Australian, I'm sure. You will be happy to know, sir, that my visit will be a trouble-free one. My plan is to have a nice, long stay with my cousin Holly. There's no need to be nervous, I assure you.
Are you satisfied?
What are you up to?
What am I up to? Why are you being so rude to my cousin, who's simply here on a visit?
It's wonderful, wonderful to be here.
Yes, well, maybe so, but you look pretty dreadful. You must have been exhausted from your trip.
Well, I could use a bit of a lie down.
Yes, I'm sure. Well, right this way.
Well, I've got to get to work.
Yeah, well, go right ahead.
I'll be back later.
Well, you usually do come home for dinner.
Maybe sooner than you think.
Well, what about all that work you had planned for today?
Well, I intend to sort this out before it gets out of hand. I trust there'll be no trouble in my absence.
Why didn't I show you the guest room? It's right up the stairs here.
Don't unpack just yet, old chap.
Well, why not? Your old cronies and your newfound friends were very welcome here, I seem to remember. It was like musical beds. You were thrilled to have Donnelly and Felicia and Mariah as house guests.
They were invited. I'll be leaving now.
Cup of tea first?
Just show me the guest room and I shall unpack. A spot of breakfast, actually, would really hit the spot.
Okay.
Yes, 3 eggs, please.
Oh, 3. The wedding, that was it.
What's that, my pet?
That was the last time we saw each other. Was the wedding? Lady Violet and Lord Brumbury?
Oh, yes, that's right. Yes, what a memorable occasion. Do you know, I can't ever remember seeing a more beautiful bride than Lady Violet.
Or such a beautiful place as Harwood Hall. Or a more perfect setting for a jewel scam.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful jewels, yes.
Yes, too bad you couldn't hold on to them, huh? Between the cutting of the cake and cutting off?
It's a good plan.
Well, yes, hiding them in the cuspidor by the entry.
Well, I certainly had no way of knowing that they would change the sand in the cuspidor while my back was turned.
Well, there's a trash collector in Harwood Village living the good life now, I assure you.
I say, I certainly hope you won't tell your husband about any of this. I seem to have gotten off on the wrong foot with him.
Robert is just feeling a little stung because of Alistair using our house as a headquarters for receiving stolen property.
Well, I assure you I have given up my career as a world-class jewel thief.
Algernon, you gave that up a long time ago. In fact, before you even started.
I wouldn't quite write me off altogether.
Still, I am very glad to hear that you've retired. You'll be a lot more at ease here.
I'm glad to hear you think so.
Is something wrong?
At the moment, no. Everything's just peachy.
Well, all right, then you can tell me why you showed up here without any warning.
Well, Holly, aren't you pleased to see me?
Well, yes, of course, Algernon. Darling, it's been years, though.
Well, I'm not in the habit of turning up where I'm not invited, but when your ticket arrived, it was absolutely the most opportune moment.
What?
Well, was I remiss in not calling you ahead?
Algernon, I didn't send you any ticket. I haven't even known where you've been all this time. Algernon, what's the matter? You're shaking. Is something the matter? Because if it is, you'd better tell me before Robert gets back.
No, really, it's nothing to be concerned about.
Somebody asked you.
I'm just a bit worried about the taxi driver, that's all. You see, I didn't want to use up all my dollars, so I slipped a couple of pound notes in with the cab fare.
Really?
Yes, I'm so afraid that he's going to be out there waiting to accost me. I do feel so guilty.
Algernon.
Do you think I'd lie to you?
Well, you are one of the family, aren't you? Everything isn't wonderful, wonderful?
Desperate. Holly, dear, you are looking at either the world's greatest jewel thief or the biggest fool. Either way, I'm a dead man.
Anybody home?
Oh, Robert, I didn't expect you home so soon.
Got my address book. Besides, I thought I'd kill two birds, so to speak.
And check up on Algernon.
Where is he?
Upstairs?
Sleeping or casing the place?
I don't know. But, you know, he was acting a little strange. He dropped a hint and then he shut up on me like a clown.
There you are.
Don't let me interrupt you two.
Come here, Algernon. Sit.
I feel a bit unseemly, old chap, still in my dressing gown.
Don't give it a thought.
It's very kind of you, I'm sure.
Well, is that an answer or a question?
Statement, merely a statement.
Let's have the story.
Oh, well, I beg your pardon.
What's going on with you, Algernon?
Oh, I just have a bit of jet lag, that's all.
The story.
Well, I might as well. Perhaps you can figure it out. I certainly can't.
Go on.
Well, as Holly can tell you, I'm not much of one for the sauce. But it was New Year's Eve. But still, I mean, I'd know, wouldn't I, if somebody were trying to pick my pocket? But then how else did the bloody thing get in there?
Wait. Now, let's start from the beginning.
Well, if you think it'll help.
Robert has a very logical mind.
Oh. Right. Well, then, it started in Paris. I was there for New Year's, and I got an invitation, engraved, to a very posh ball. It's an annual affair with the same old rich and the same old famous, year after year. I just assumed that one of my friends had put in a word for me, so I went. The very next morning,
Well, is that French for jewels?
So what was in the pocket? Cassadine brooch. Well, examination's over and the brooch certainly seems authentic. The question is, how authentic is your story, Algernon?
I swear to you, I did not steal that brooch at the party.
Well, what do you make of it, Robert?
I can't even speculate.
Well, meanwhile, what am I supposed to do? I mean, I'm terrified of the Cassadines. I read all about them, in English.
You've every reason to be terrified.
How do you know that that's a Cassadine brooch?
Let's just say that I am on intimate relations with the Cassadines. And don't believe the reviews you read in the paper. The family is a whole lot worse.
I just know that they know all about me. I'm sure they had a man tailing me. I got out of Paris as fast as I could. I found Holly's air ticket in my hotel box.
I told Algernon I didn't send that ticket.
This is getting worse by the minute, you know, and I do not appreciate you involving me or my wife in your blasted problems.
Algernon is not responsible for what happened to him, Robert.
He went to the damn party, didn't he? Why should we have to clean up after his hangover?
Well, because we have to.
Well, I might bring Donnelly in on this. If anyone knows the Cassadines, he does.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Sean,
Greetings, old buddy.
can I entice you over?
Do I have time to take off my coat and return a few phone calls?
Sure. Unless the name Cassadine would get you over here any quicker.
I'm on my way. Little kid, we used to play a game called Hot Potato. We'd all sit around in a circle, there'd be music playing, we'd start passing the potato from hand to hand, and then the music would stop suddenly, and the one left holding the potato was it.
And out of the game.
And poor Algernon is it.
Well, do you know something? I would gladly get out of the game.
That's not how the Cassadines played it, however.
If it is the Cassadines, they're involved here.
No, it's just a matter of time. Robert? It's
No.
their brooch.
Yeah, but who's left? Victor's in jail, Stavros is dead, Tony and Mikkos are both frozen, Helena's modeling straitjackets in an asylum.
And Luke and Laura were told by that old servant that Helena was too far gone to be much of a threat to anyone, so who can it be?
A reference may have been made in that French newspaper article.
It was all Greek to me.
As are the Cassadines.
Oh, God.
Yeah, well, I strongly doubt that Helena was at the ball wearing her latest sequin straitjacket, so I think we got to track down this article. It may give us a clue as to who or whatever's behind all of this.
Is this going to be an official inquiry to this effect?
Too early yet. We don't want anyone to know that we got the brooch.
I agree.
I've got an old WSB contact still in Paris.
Who?
Came aboard after you left. I'll put in a call now.
There's no way I could be implicated by this telephone call, is there?
Not unless you actually stole the brooch, old boy.
Algernon said he didn't, and I believe him, and Robert obviously believes him too, so what is your problem,
Holly,
Sean?
I'm sorry. It was a poor joke. Sorry.
Well, I can't tell you how much better I feel having all you WSB alumni on my side.
Sean, you want in on this Paris call? See what's going on?
I thought you'd never ask.
Give it the old college heave-ho.
Right.
Don't worry. Any news, Robert?
Yeah, what we might have expected. They'd cloned another Cassadine.
What do you mean?
Well, this is a blast from the past. A member formerly banished is now heading up the clan.
What are we talking about?
Our man in Paris had some rather interesting information. That the Cassadines are now functioning under the leadership of Petros.
Mikkos' cousin.
Mikkos the dead or the frozen?
The Frozen. Petros was banished because of a disagreement with Mikkos.
And now he's surfaced.
and running things, I'm afraid. I guess the line must, after all, be wearing a little thin.
Do you think that Petros arranged Algernon's ticket?
Obviously. I mean, he provided it, then he sent the party invitation, and then planted the brooch.
What does it all mean?
Means that Operation Cassadine goes into full swing.
But why would Petros want to victimize Algernon?
And who and what else in addition to Algernon?
Meanwhile, little buddy, the brooch.
Which goes into my safe immediately. Come on, I'll show you where.
Clever. Clever, clever, clever. What happens if...
My own private little tomb.
Whoa! I love it.
Yeah, I figured you might.
Robert, what do you make of all this?
Not sure yet.
You know damn well it's the Cassadine manipulation. We have to stop it.
We can't. Not until we find out their motivation for trapping Algernon.
All right. What then?
We nip it in the bud before disaster strikes.